So these are the samples. That is so sick. You're also gonna see a bunch of the wallets come through, all of the boot accessories, little Swayze wallet, but we only order in batches. So if you want some really cool Alien Blood Core products, be ready. Mega Goral unboxing. This one has to be last though. There we go. So, what's new with Goral? It's the first collaboration we're doing this year with them. And I think this is gonna be a good one because last year we launched, actually, it probably was 2 years ago. Maybe even 3. Time flies. Some amount of years ago, or a year ago, we launched the SMUGS, sneakers made using good shit. Because there's a lot of sneakers out there that are good quality. There's a lot of boots out there that's good quality, but there's very few sneakers that are built to boot quality. You know, there's some really cool brands, like we've unboxed Fight recently. Fight has some crazy stuff, way over the top. Ridiculous leathers and veg tan insoles, but the leather's still, you know, sneaker thickness leather, even though it's like built absolutely insane. You've got Thursdays that have like their little sneakers that have some thick leather. They do technically, some of them have like a veg tan insole, but they're not like fully built out like the Gorals are, where you got that Blake stitch on the inside. You know, there's a Hinder Scheme, I believe, is another. It's only fair to talk about the competition, you know. Little Zed's dead. See me when I come, baby. Mama was queen of the mambo, Papa was king of the Congo. Anyway, Hinder Scheme. I think that's who it was. I don't know if that's how you even say the name, Hinder Scheme. But they've got a bunch of really cool like boot style stuff, you know, very like veg tan, heavy duty, but I don't really think there was anyone out there that was really making them to true boot spec. You know, with not just a cup sole, but it's cup sole with a sidewall stitch, with the Blake stitch, with the veg tan insole, with boot thickness leather, with a high top sneaker so it looks and kind of feels like a boot to some degree. And they're hugely popular. You know, and I love that Goral, like this super high end English made sneaker brand that has like these roots in Poland and like are known for making the first true Blake stitch sneaker. And they're willing to be like, sure, I guess SMUGS, sneakers made using good shit, is a good name. You know, I think they think it's funny because like Dom's like around, actually I think Dom's younger than me. Katie is around my age, she's for sure younger than me. And they've come out to Utah, so they're just like, you know, they're fun, so they get it and they understand how like businesses in the digital world kind of work. So what is this? Because I know some of these might be mixed up, so it's gonna be a little bit of a random drop as I show you. Because we wanted to take the concept and just continue evolving it and growing it and figuring out what it looks like for the future to keep things interesting and fresh and exciting. So that's what this is, the next evolution of the SMUGS. What knife? The Lander 5, because it's the only knife that's close to me right now. Actually, I have a few of them. That Lander 5. I think this is the Lander 3 or 4. The leather sheath made by Neff's, local Utah company. Everyone likes to see the knives though, it's fun. 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh. And I've like seen these kind of floating around the shop, but I haven't like looked closely at them. Look at that. Because we had a jump on this launch, because it's like right after the break, and what? That looks so good. So clearly a low top SMUGS. You know, the high tops, very bootish. But there's a lot of people that's like, I don't wear high tops. Like they're too hot, they're too bulbous, they're too bulky, they're too whatever. And so we finally got the low top SMUGS. It's basically same pattern all the way through. Like, I'll show you when I got a high top version here. Same like heel counter here, same pattern through the quarters. You know, it's basically just a SMUG, but just chopped a little bit lower. Oh, and what am I wearing? This brand is, I don't actually know if it's a local brand, because I've seen their ads on TikTok and I saw them at the state fair and I bought this. I was like, what's the biggest one you got? Give me like the giant oversized 90s corduroy multi-paneled coat. Sometimes when I wear this Bayside shirt, people are like, the Bayside Church is a demonic organization run by a bunch of yada yada yadas. Can't say that word on camera. Thrift Jam. This is a band, Bayside. If you don't know who Bayside is, it's probably with good reason. They're really small. It's from the emo era, from my early high school days. The girl I thought was really cute was really into them. So it's not the Bayside Church, relax. Thrift Jam, yeah, here they are. That's a pretty cool website too. I like the design of the site. Rework coats, jackets. Love the pop-ups always. That's the one. Pretty cheap. You know, it's far from the highest quality coat I've had. You know, it's very affordable. It's still corduroy, you know, but it's an affordable coat for sure. So I knew some people were like, where did you get that and how do I buy one? Thrift Jam. I think it's owned by a young gal too. So support the local Utah female-led businesses. I don't know if she owns it or not, but. So there's your one low top smug in the classic gum sole, the natural Chrome Excel. What about this one? Let's check this one out. Black with gum. I love this combo. This is like all I wore through high school and like middle school. I wanted the gum sole, but I wanted it to be black. Okay, next. Got your classic color number 8 from Horween. I love this color. To me, it's kind of got a purpley hue to it, but it has a lot of red in it, but it's still like a shade of brown. And I think that's why it's so popular. It's like a maroony brown without being too maroon, and still clearly being like a brown shoe. Sizing wise, these will fit the same size as your other high top smugs. It's the same last, it's the same everything, just in a low top form. Why does nobody sell colorful leather laces? I don't know either. That's why we tracked down the suppliers of the lace makers of some of the highest quality, most durable boots in the entire world. I was like, hey, what if you made some color laces for us? I want to customize my boots. One of my favorite things about boots and shoes is not just protecting your investment with some kilties, some insoles, and some laces, but it's fun to customize them. You know, the leather laces add a little flair, add a little customization. It's the same concept of like wearing a boot, developing that unique patina. Same thing, adding some kilties in, some laces. But like I said, it does protect your investment, because if you've had a pair of high quality boots and put some like cotton laces through, that cotton will slowly abrade and wear down that brass eyelet. And that's why in these work boots, you see almost exclusively leather laces, but they all look exactly the same. So that's why we released our Rose Anvil laces, because they're trimmable. Leather's better for laces anyways, because it has a little bit of stretch, it breaks in over time. They flex as you move rather than being super tight throughout the day. They don't melt if you're welding or around fires, and they just look cooler. So check out our Rose Anvil leather laces below and protect your investment, add a little character, a little pop of color, a little personalization to your boots. And thank you guys for supporting all these Rose Anvil boot and shoe accessories. It's a big part of what makes all this possible, so thank you guys. Check them out below. Okay, next color. Gotta go with the green. The green always surprised me how much the green sell. Because it's, you know, it's not a standard color, it's a pretty unique color. But I think it's because it's so dark that you can really pull it off with a lot of different things. Unlike a lime green alien blood green. Speaking of, what's in this box? Alien blood core. Low top smugs. See a little pop of color right there. See little pops of color through the edge binding. Yeah, look at that, that's cool. But for the most part, it's just a very subtle black shoe. And then the more you beat it up, the more you kick the curb, the more you scratch it and scar it, some of that really bright alien blood green pops through. And that's what's cool about the blood cores. You have to like actually earn it. You can't just like, oh, let me put a rag on this and scuff it off. You have to literally wear these to a point where you're taking chunks out of leather to get them to bleed and scar and scratch as if it were a live animal or a live alien. And yeah, these turned out sick. We've kind of like talked internally. It's like, do we have them not edge bind it next time so you have the full raw edge, or do you guys like the bound edge so it's a little more subtle? You know, because you compare this to, actually, let me go grab it. This will illustrate the point well. For instance, the tankers that we just released, by the time we're watching this last Thursday, you can see how much more of that raw alien core edge shows. You know, you look at all these hits of green coming through, even on like the sole, versus this. With the edge binding, it keeps it very subtle. You got a little pop here, a little pop there, a little bit here. So let me know what you guys like. I like both for different reasons. This is a lot more subtle, especially for a very bright, like lime green, like alien blood green. So it's maybe a little bit easier to wear, but you also don't get that huge pop of color like this. You know, that's just like gnarly, and that's on camera. In real life, it's a pop. And then the cool part is, once you've been through a few intergalactic space battles, or you spent your whole extended life on a space freighter, and you got to go to distant worlds of unknown flora and fauna that could easily end your life at any given moment, and your boots barely survive it, that's what they're gonna look like. And so after you beat the crap out of your Gorals, you know, keep in mind, this is like extreme. This is like if you absolutely destroyed your boots, you're gonna get this effect. Over time, you're gonna slowly kind of get this effect, but this is just the most extreme version of it. But that's what's cool about this is you can really take care of your low top SMUGS, and they can stay black, and you just have a little hint of color. There's a little accent color, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Or you let these get really beat up. You can artificially scratch them and scar them if you really want to add your own characteristics to it. If you want to use it almost like a little art project to build the patina you like, or you just go really hard on it and you skate in them, you do whatever to like really start to show that through. That's what's fun about this, is it's not pigeonholed to one specific way to use Bloodcore. You can use it how it best fits you. All the way from intergalactic space battles against xenomorphs or any other alien, not specifically xenomorphs, don't sue us, Universal. All the way down to like a very subtle, sleek, very classy black shoe with just a little teeny pop of color. Okay, then what's in these, what's in the box? What's in the box? Well, it says, SMUGS Low Top Sneakers Bloodcore. But look at these with the red stitching. I think, did we already unbox these? We might have, or you've probably already seen them, but look how good that red stitching goes with this shoe. So that's my other question to you guys. Do you like more of the high contrast with like, because there's three degrees of color pop that we can do with this. The most subtle is like this, edge bound, you know, you got a little pop of color, but black stitching. Next step up is edge bound, but matching stitching to the core, like this. And then the ultimate version is unbound edge and matching thread. So I guess there's one in between where it's like not matching thread and unbound. So let me know what you guys think would be good to move forward with this, because I can see it working for different reasons and people wanting them for different reasons. So let me know your opinion. No guarantee we'll change it, but just curious. Okay, then what's in the final box? What is it? High top Alien Core SMUGS. So there's your before and after, the difference between your high tops and your low tops. Pretty obvious, right? Is there any other changes in any way? Same heel counter, essentially the same pull tab, same eyelets, same edge binding, same stitching pattern, same outsole, same toe. So yeah, let's look at the inside too. At the heel, the low top SMUGS do not have a dedicated internal counter cover. The high top SMUGS do not have a dedicated internal counter cover. So yeah, it's basically the exact same pattern through and through, in every way, except for they just take those last two eyelets off, because this has 5 eyelets, this has 7. So it's the same size as your regular SMUGS. If you want to see the sizing guide, I linked it below. But what a cool project, and what a cool little addition to the Alien Core drop. So shout out to Goral for being willing to make these, even in the limited quantities that we're doing these in. So if you do want a pair of these, make sure you get on that limited edition email list so you get early access to the launch by I think it's like 4 to 6 hours. And so that way you'll guarantee you get a pair, because they're limited quantities. Because we just didn't know, like, I don't know how many are gonna sell, and so we just do the first batch pretty small. So if you want a pair, get on that list, get ready to buy it. We're gonna send you the sizing guide, specs, everything you need to know, and then you get that early access on Thursday. Get your order in, get to the front of the line, and guarantee yourself a pair of any of these SMUGS, really. Because if we look at their site, I'm pretty sure most of the SMUGS are available. Okay, let's go to men's. Go to, collaborations? Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Collaborations, shop all Rose Anvil collaborations. High top SMUGS, $430 for all the Horween versions. We even got the MUGS 2 available, where it's the shearling line version of the MUGS. We still got some pops of that chrome excel to structure it and give you some wear resistance, and ends up being like a really cool little two-toning. The slugs, basically the mugs, but in slipper form. Mugs, manly Uggs turn into slippers, slugs. We even got the barefoot line, $420 up to $440 for the high tops. High top Bloodcore SMUGS, $430. Oh, look at who's this freaking handsome bad down here. I hate seeing photos myself, I'm being honest. I like this if my face isn't in it. I die a little bit inside it, having to model things. It's not fun for any of us. So where is the low top SMUGS? So for the low top Alien Core SMUGS, $430. High tops are also $430. Look at it, that looks good. This is the first time I've seen a listing actually. Okay, so that should be everything you need to know. They're gonna be available on Goral's site. And like I said, get on that email list so you get early access, get to the front of the line, get them sooner, and make sure they don't run out before you get your order in. So thank you guys. Goral's been a really fun collaborator. We've pushed the limits a lot in a lot of ways, from like high top shearling sneakers to high top sneakers that are built like boots that still look like sneakers. It's a really fun collaboration. It all started like 4 or 5 years ago when we were just chatting, and I ended up sending a shearling bomber jacket to Goral. And then we're like, that actually turned out so sick, let's make mugs, like manly Uggs. And then now, 3 or 4 years later, we've got this whole line of products. Like, look at all these freaking Rose Anvil collaborative products we have with them. That is cool. That's cool for, like, at least for me. Like, I think it's really cool that we have this many cool, successful, unique, and boundary-pushing products, even with one brand. And it's one brand, and that one brand is doing things at the upper echelon of quality in a unique way that really nobody else is doing with the Blake Stitch construction. It's a dream come true working with Goral. So shout out to Goral, especially the production crew that has to put up with the shearling, the extra thick leather, and all the chaos that we make into our collaborations. So thank you guys. Thanks to Goral, and check them out. They drop on Thursday, and that's it. See ya.